Alright guys, that was some time to think on this. I need 2 volunteers. I want to say not Eleanor, not Mindy, or not Braylon, because they've had enough almond joys. So, someone else going for an almond joy. Who wants to take 255? Who wants to take negative 115? Go ahead, Melissa. So, let me catch up to you. So, you took 255. For the positive, you added 360, which is 5, 1, carry the 1, 615. Is that what you said? You guys, did you get 615 as well? Awesome. What about the negative coterminal angle? So 255 minus 360, what did that give you? And that would be a negative. Great. And if you wanted to check your work, guys, you just graph 255 is going down like this. 615 goes around once, and then it goes to the same spot. Negative 105 just goes the other way, gets to the same spot. So good job. Almond joy for Melissa.
So negative 105 is not negative 1. It's only 10 degrees off.
Yeah, but that 10 degrees can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, what about for negative 115? Who wants to take that one? Go ahead, Skylar. So, okay, sorry, I'm catching up to you. You said negative 115 and you added 360, and what was that? Awesome. Do you guys agree with 245? Awesome. So that would be a positive and a negative coterminal angle. Nice job. Okay, so that's basically everything you need to learn for this lesson. Now what I'm going to show you is different types of homework questions they can ask you about coterminal angles. What you need to remember is, what does coterminal mean?
They share the terminal side.
They share the terminal side. What would be the difference between all of these coterminal angles? If they're one full rotation apart, then what's the difference always going to be?
360.
360. If I do 405 minus 45, 360. 45 minus a negative 315 adds to 360. What is 2 rotations?
2, 4, 7, 7. That one you did, that one number you said.
Thanks, Jane. 720. 1 rotation is 360. 2 is 720. 3, anyone know?
1 second.
See, when I was in junior high,
180, 1,080.
there was this snowboarding game that came out on the 64. That was a cool thing. And it was called 1080. And the coolest trick you could get to was the 1080, which is how many rotations? 3 rotations, and I could never push the buttons fast enough to get it. I tried really, really hard.
You could only do 3, you couldn't even do 3.
That was a top trick you could do, and I could get to 2. And I remember my brother got to 3, and he paused it and left it on the screen so everyone could see it. And I was bitter. Darn it. Alright, so just remember, the rotations are it'll always be full rotations between coterminal angles. Now, your homework is going to have questions just like this. So let's look at this first one with the graphs. In the following examples, find a coterminal angle in standard position. So what they show here, let's actually start with 2 and 3. They say, hey, this angle right here, this is a 60-degree angle here, but how could you get it going this way? Now, this actually kind of relates to what we did with the ACT. Is anyone looking at this, can you see what the relationship is between these 2 angles?
They're supposed to equal 180.
Yeah, they're going to add up to 180 because they make a line, right? So these guys need to add up to 180. Now, how does that help us figure out what just this part is here on the right?
Because now you can subtract 6. Yeah, subtract 60, 180, which is 120. And then that's the angle.
And does that seem to fit where it needs to? If I go 90 plus 30 is 120, does it look like it's in the right spot?
Yes.
There you go.
What about the ones that aren't giving us?
Okay, so what about on number 3? I want you guys to just take 20, 30 seconds here. And I want you to see if you can figure out what number 3 is. You're trying to find this guy. So go ahead and think about that.
What is 1? It doesn't give us an angle.
We're not on number 1, we're on number 3.
Go in order.
All right, can I get someone new? Someone I haven't heard from yet. I'm thinking Antonio. What are you thinking on number 3, Antonio? Not quite. If we look at 3, it's almost a full complete circle, right? Which would be what? What's one full revolution? But how much do we still need to go to get there? We didn't go this bit right here, which is 45, right? So what if we just subtract off that 45? Would that give us this angle here? We went 1 revolution minus 45, which is what, guys?
360.
And that'd be your answer. Does that make sense? All right. How many of you were able to get that on your own? Yes. All right. Good job. Okay.
Are you drawing a circle for your degree? Or are you just putting it
I'm just putting a dot. Are you offended?
Yeah, I'm drawing circles.
Okay. Number 1 is tricky because it doesn't give you any angles. But maybe if I can draw this out as a triangle, it might help you. Because look, it says this point right here is 2, -2. That means if I draw it right here, I went 2 this way and -2 that way. So the side lengths, one is 2, one's -2, but don't worry about the negative. What type of triangle is this?
Is it a 45, 45, 90?
How'd you know that?
Because they're the same.
Since it's isosceles, it means it's an isosceles right triangle. It means it's a 45, 45, 90, which means this angle is 45.
So does that mean it's the same as 3?
So it's the same as 3. We're trying to figure out the angle that goes all the way to here and it's just a little bit short, which is 315.
This is white. They couldn't come up with new numbers.
All right. So you're going to have like 3 questions like that on your homework. Can you do that on your own?
Yes.
Okay,
Are
cool.
they all 315?
No, they are not. Okay, now on this next one, let's read the instructions. Find a measure of an angle between 0 and 360. That is coterminal with each given angle. So again, what does coterminal mean?
Share the same terminal.
Share the terminal side, which means how far apart are they?
360.
There you go. So here's the thing, if you have a negative angle, you can find coterminal angles by adding 360 or subtracting 360. But we want these to be above here, so which one are we going to choose?
You have to add because if you subtract, you get like a negative.
There you go.
Negative big.
So if I add 360 here, I get 260. Is 260 between 0 and 360?
Yes.
Yes, so there you go. That's all you do on these ones. You're going to add on a full rotation or subtract. Now, I'm not going to do all of them. Let's just jump to 14. What would you guys say on 14? Are we going to add 360 or subtract 360? Since it's negative, if we subtracted, it would be even more negative, and we want it to be between 0 and 360. So we're actually not going to subtract. What are we going to do? Let's add 360, which I believe that gives us 135. But someone can check me on that, right?
You just will never know. It is what.
Okay, but now jump to 16. Okay, on number 16, are we going to add or subtract? Why are we subtracting?
It will over. Like,
There you go. So it's bigger than 360. We need to bring it down. So I'm going to subtract 360. And what do we get? Good job. Now, we didn't see that on this example, but what if you had a number an angle and it was a big angle and you subtract off 360 and it's still bigger than 360.
Do it again.
Then you do it again. You do it again until you get to between 0 and 360. Alright, you got it? Okay, I think we've got one more. We're almost there. You guys are so good. Okay, on this last one, the instructions just say, state if the given angles are coterminal. Now, what your strategy is going to be is you are going to find the difference between the angles. What does the word difference mean in math? So you're going to subtract the angles, and what should the difference be if they are coterminal? 360 or 720 or 1080. So
1080.
the difference should be, I'll put in there 360, it could be positive or negative, or it could be 720. We won't get high enough to see 1080, but the idea is it's full rotations, right? Okay, so let's do number one. I'm going to do 145, and then I'm going to subtract a negative 395. Now, what happens when you subtract a negative? So we're no longer subtracting, we're adding. Okay, so I'm going to put a little note here that this is going to turn this into adding. Okay, so then let's add that. I do 145 plus 395, and I get 0, carry the 1, 4, carry the 1, 540. Is 540 a full is that a full rotation?
Yes, but more than a full rotation.
Okay, sorry. Is it an exact rotation?
No.
No, 540 is actually 1.5. So this, what does that tell us about these two angles?
They're
Not
coterminal. I just put an X.
Or an X, that will work as well, okay? What time is it, guys? Are we almost there? It's an assembly schedule. Okay, so now let me just do one more with you real quick on number 2. If I do 60 minus a negative 300, what do I get?
360.
That is a full rotation, so what does that tell you?
It's coterminal.
They are coterminal. Alright, so great job today. Do the assignment I gave you, and then come after school if you have questions, but we'll do some review on Monday. So have a good weekend.